Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's episode we'll be learning how to make the almighty Milky donuts. Yes, so I've been trying this recipe for a very long time though, but it's not giving me what I actually wanted. So I decided to get a new yeast because I suspected my yeast have expired, so it was not giving me what I wanted or air entered it. So I got a new one and I turned it into an airtight container. Then I measured out my flour. I'll be using 500 grams of flour for this recipe. Then I measured out my butter. We're going to be using 70 grams of butter. So I measured that. After measuring that, I set it aside. Then we clean up our workspace. Then I forgot to measure my sugar because for this recipe we'll be using 100 grams of sugar. So I got my measurement, so I set it aside. Then I brought out my egg. Be using 1 egg for this. Then in a dry pot or in a dry bowl, you first you put in your flour and butter and mix it very well until you get that crumbling texture. You know that's right. When you just pour it, it still drops like that. So we'll mix it very well until the butter is nowhere to be seen. Also, when you're done mixing, you mix and mix and mix. When you're done mixing, you go in with your sugar. Then you mix your sugar. Then you go in with your 1 tablespoon of yeast. Then you cover it because yeast, I don't know what the covenant yeast have with air, but you mix it very well. You mix it properly. Then after mixing that, you go in with your milk, your full cream milk. I already measured my own. I used half measuring cup for that. So I decided, and also you'll be needing half cup of water. So I decided to just pour in the water into the milk cup so I can just get the whole milk from the cup. Then we'll mix that very well. When you mix that properly, when you're done mixing that, you just set it aside. When you're done with that process, you set aside as well. So you just go in with your egg and your flavor. So you just use whichever flavor you want. I used vanilla flavor. I just mixed, then I turned into my butter. So after doing that, then I give that a nice mixture. I mix it very well from my pot. So after that, I decided to sprinkle flour and on my workspace and going with my dough. And don't worry if it's a little bit messy. To all come together with time, as you can see in the video. Just keep on kneading. You knead and knead and knead and keep on kneading. You're going to do this process for 45 minutes here. That is if you're not using a mixer. If you're using a mixer, you can do this process for 20 minutes, but if you're not using a mixer, this process is going to take you 45 minutes. And if you notice, you saw me stretching the dough. Yes, I was trying to find out if it still have this breakage, that is if it's not stretchy, and I noticed it was not stretchy, so it was not ready. When you one thing you have to know is when your dough is stretchy without breaking, is almost ready. And when you notice bubbles from your dough, know that is ready. And as you can see, I tapped it with my finger, I pressed it, and you saw it came up. So that is ready for rolling. As you can see, right, it was not breaking, but I decided to still need more, and I did that for the remaining 45 minutes. I need, even though this process you get ready, because as you can see now, the dough is ready. You get ready because this process is time taking and is so stressful. So I would advise, if you want to do this method, it's better you get a mixer. Don't mind me, I was just dancing to Kiss Daniel's music. Okay, so when you're done, you need to knead this process very well. As you can see, it's ready, but I still needed to knead it to be sure, because I don't want to hear a story that touches the heart, because I'm tired. So I had to still put more energy and knead. So I went to get my pan. Then I forgot to cut my baking sheet, my baking paper earlier, so I decided to do that then. So I cut the baking paper. About, I think about 9 or so, and I arranged them on the pan. And so when you're done arranging your baking paper, you just set everything aside. You just set it aside, and you need a little bit more, then cut then before you get your oil for rolling. When you cut it to the actual gram you want, that is the size you want, you can want yours a little bit smaller, but mine, I didn't measure mine because it's just for the family, it's meant for the family. So I just counted the numbers of people and I just rolled. I didn't really measure mine, but if you're selling it, you have to measure it to get equal measurement, uniform measurement amongst all. Then I just add my oil, then I roll so that I can get that smooth texture. And don't forget, so don't mind the process that is looking a bit faster here. This process actually takes time because I find it, I don't know if it's only me, I actually find it difficult rolling this donut, but I think this rolling method was the best. And if you notice, my donuts were already rising. If you can look closely, they're already rising. So I needed to be fast, so I went to get my leather so I can use in covering the dough when I was done. So I rolled the last one and I added it and I sprinkled flour on it, so when I cover it, the leather won't glue to the dough. That's what I did, and I set it aside and let it rise for about 30 minutes. 30 minutes later, yeah, this is what we have. Don't mind that one that spoiled. I don't know why it spoiled or why it burst open, but that is it. Then you just preheat your oil and check if it's in the right temperature. You don't want your oil to be too hot, to be cold at all. So you just go in with the right temperature. Then you go in with your donuts, then let it cook, let it fry for some period of time. But while it's frying, you keep checking it so it won't get burnt or it won't get too dark. Then you keep checking it, but you don't turn it until the other side is cooked properly before you can turn it. So yeah, that is it. You keep checking it, keep rolling it to check when it's ready, then you turn. Then once it's ready, you just bring it out of the oil. And yeah, that is it. That is our Milky. Okay, it's not a Milky yet, but that's our donut. As you can see, the ring on the donuts, it's looking so pretty. So I'd say to just serve it so I can do small younger. So I said to serve it. I went in with the milk and all that. So then I said to make this milky filling, and I added it. I added the toppings to the donuts, so it's now fully called Milky Donuts. Yeah, I didn't make, actually I wanted to make chocolate filling as well, but I didn't have the strength and it was already late by that time, so I just decided to go with the one I have, and that was it. So we have a plate of milky filling donuts, we have a plate of chocolate donuts, and we have a plate of normal. Okay, and that is it. So you can send in your orders. We are available. Butter Tea Betha is here for you. Thank you and God bless you.